Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar's Learning App, myself Subramanya. In this session, we shall have a discuss on statement and argument. To study statement and arguments, we need to have some of the important points to be remembered. Here we have two columns, one is strong argument, another one is weak argument. Let's study in detail now on each column. Strong argument. Whenever the argument is talking about nation security, then we need to consider those arguments always as strong arguments. And also, whenever the arguments talk about development of a country, then also we need to consider those type of arguments as a strong arguments. And then universal fact, whenever the argument come from a supreme authority or instructions from the supreme authority will always be considered as a strong argument. And facts based on experience will be the strong arguments, and educational development activities are always a strong arguments. Here, these are the 6 points which comes under strong argument category. Then coming on to a weak arguments, when are the arguments reacted on over exaggeration or on assumption, then we need to consider those arguments as a weak arguments. And also words like each, nothing, every, all and only always falls under weak argument category. Third one, comparison. Comparison is also a weak argument. Fourth one, ambiguous data. If your data is unclear while proceeding, then such arguments becomes weak. Then you need to consider those arguments as weak arguments. Ambiguous data is nothing but a unclear data. Last one, half explained statements. Half explained statements are always a weak arguments. Please remember, you should always complete the statements and you should not half explain. Wherever you go half explained, then you need to consider those arguments as weak arguments. These are the 5 points which needs to be remembered in a weak argument section. Okay, let me move on to our problems in detail. Problem number 1, statement: should military training be made compulsory in our country? Argument: yes, every child should go through this training. Second one, no, it is not compulsory in USA. They are asking, should military training be made compulsory in our country? Here, both the arguments are weak arguments. Let's study why these arguments are weak in detail now. First one, every child should go through this training. They are telling that each and every child should go through this military training. Here it is having the word every, right? Every child is not capable of undergoing a military training because some may be a strong and some may be a weak. In this condition, we can't say that every child should go through this training. So the word argument goes weak. So our right option is weak argument. So coming to the second one, no, it is not compulsory in USA. Here it is a comparison. Both countries have different level of training and we are comparing our country's military training with the USA. Wherever you go comparison, then comparison is an invalid sense. Comparison is always a weak argument. Hence, option is D. Neither 1 nor 2 is a strong arguments. Moving on to our next problem. Statement: should abortion be legalized in India? Arguments: yes, it is legal in many countries. No, abortion is also a kind of murder. In India, abortion is illegal. They are asking us, should abortion be made legalized in India? The arguments quoted here are, yes, it is legal in many countries, and no, the abortion is also a kind of murder. Here again, both the arguments are weak arguments. Let's study in detail now why these arguments are weak. Okay, here again it is a comparison. Here we are comparing India with other countries. As we discussed earlier, comparison is always a weak argument. By that tip, we can conclude that argument first is a weak argument. Okay, abortion is also a kind of murder. We are telling these argument in a exaggeration way. Wherever you quote your arguments in an exaggeration way or half explained way, then always that conclusion goes weak. So again, second argument is also a weak argument. The options is D. Neither 1 nor 2 argument follows. Okay. Moving on to our next problem. Problem number 3. Statement: should disarmament policy be adopted by India? Arguments are, yes, it will promote peace and would encourage other countries to do the same. No, it will pose a security threat to the India. Here one is weak argument and another one is strong argument. Let's study why it is a weak argument. Here there is a word will. Promoting peace is okay, but by looking India, if other countries accept the same, it is feasible, right? By looking at the India, if other countries also accept disarmament policy, it will be fine. If not, it will pose a security risk to the nation. If other countries don't accept disarmament policy, then it will pose a risk to the nation. It will pose a security risk to the nation. In these cases, we need to consider those arguments as weak argument. Okay. Second one, no, it will pose a security threat to the nation. It is talking about nation security, right? Wherever the argument goes in favor of nation security, then always we need to consider those arguments as strong arguments. So the right option for this problem is option B. Only conclusion 2 is strong. Moving on to our next problem. Problem number 4. Statement: should private sector be allowed to participate in development of railways? Arguments are yes, this is one of the ways to provide better service to the public. Second one, no, there will be an exploitation and fares may also increase. Here one is a strong argument and another one is a weak argument. Let's have an explanation now. Yes, this is one of ways to provide better service to the public. It concerning about development of a country. As we discussed earlier, wherever the argument is concerning about development of the country, we should always consider those sort of agreements as strong arguments. Development of the country is a strong argument. Second one, there is an exploitation and fares may also increase. Emotional fact. Here the argument is quoted in a emotional way and there is no fact for fare increase. It may increase or it may decrease against the development. Here the argument what it is quoted here is against the development. Wherever the word will be, always a weak argument. Here the argument is going against the development of a country. Wherever the argument goes against the development of a country, we need to consider those argument as a weak argument. So second one is weak argument. So the right option is option A. Only argument 1 is strong. Moving on to our next problem. Problem number 5. Statement: should more big industries be started in urban areas? They are asking us big industries should be started in urban areas. Arguments: yes, it will create job opportunities. No, it will increase population and pollution. Here both advantages and disadvantages are bidirectional. If you follow advantage, you have to suffer from disadvantage and vice versa. Here we have job and population, right? Here we have two cases, that is one is job and another is population. If we accept job, we need to have a problem of population. If we accept population, then we don't have any job opportunities. Here both job opportunities and population, here one is advantage, another is disadvantages. Here both are going in a bidirectional way. In these cases, always choose your option as either case. Whenever both advantages and disadvantages are bidirectional, always choose your option as either. So the right option for this problem is option C. Moving on to our next problem. Statement: is it essential to ensure that all food supplied for consumption remain unaltered and uncontaminated? Arguments: yes, first fundamental right under the Constitution sets down that every citizen has a right to life. Second one, virtually all items of food in India have chemicals or adulterants. They are asking us, is it essential to ensure all food supplied for consumption remain unaltered or uncontaminated? Here one is a strong argument and another is weak arguments. Let's study in detail now why one is strong and one other is weak. It is an instruction from supreme authority. As we discussed earlier, all the instructions of supreme authorities are always a strong argument. By this way, we can conclude the first argument as strong argument and the second one is it is a opinion. Second one is a opinion and it don't have any fact or figures to conclude the above argument. So the second one is a weak argument. So the right option is option A. Only conclusion 1 follows. Problem number 7. Statement: Should basic computer knowledge be made a compulsory subject? Here both arguments are telling no only. Let's study now. No, there are many other subject courses available which should be made compulsory. Second one is also quoting no, student should be given choice. Here both are weak arguments. As per current happening, computer knowledge is prime importance. There may be other subjects, but you can't skip computer course as it is holding a prime most important in current situation. You can't skip computer, so it is a weak argument. Second one, no student should be given the choice. If you give choice to the students, they may not choose the computer subject. So giving choice to the students is a weak argument. Okay, second is also a weak argument. So the right option is option D. Neither 1 nor 2 is strong arguments. Problem number 8, statement, should government close down loss-making public sector enterprise? Arguments, no, all employees will lose their jobs and earnings. Second one, in a competitive world, the rule is survival of the fittest. Here one is weak argument and another is strong arguments. Let's study why first one is weak argument now. Think practical. Loss to more losses. If government runs loss making public sector, it will fetch us more and more losses even to government itself. When we think in a logical way, loss will fetch us to more and more losses. The first argument is a weak argument. In a second one, it is a universal truth. As we discussed earlier, universal truth is always a strong argument. So the option to be marked here is option B. Only conclusion 2 is strong. Okay. In other session, we shall discuss some more important topics. Till then, keep playing around. Thank you.